Hi, it's been a while since I've done any Milwaukee repairs. I bought these 3 soldering irons a while back because I've got a couple of friends who I think would rather appreciate one of them, and I thought, well, I'll keep one as a spare. So I've already got one of these that I repaired previously. Now, I'm not sure what the faults are on these, so we'll pop the battery in and we'll see what we do. Well, that one's gone green straight away, which means it's at the correct temperature, but it's not heating up at all. So, I'm not sure on that one. That one means the temperature is supposed to be heating up, but it isn't getting warm. And I think this one does pretty much the same. So I think we'll start with these two first, because they seem to have the same fault, and then we'll look at this one a little bit after. Alright, now to get into these you need to punch a hole in here or try and remove the label. Myself, I'm not really going to bother trying removing the label. I'm just going to stick a screwdriver straight in, which is a T10 Torx. Well, I'm fairly sure it's a T10 anyway. I think I'll do the same on this one as well. And I've got a feeling that these two are going to be the thermal fuse. Right, let's have a look at this one first. I'm just going to remove this, and then this plastic cover. And that exposes the element. Now, if I remember right, this bit should unclip. I might need a little bit of persuasion on that. There we go. Alright then, where was the thermal fuse in these again? So that's the heating element there, and I think the thermal fuse was located around about here. Or was it in this bit? Actually, I think it was in this bit, wasn't it? Let's see if we can slide this bit forward. Yeah, if I remember, the thermal fuse is about here. So it's been a while since I've done one of these, so there we go. I think I'll cut that cable tie just to make things a bit easier. Let's find some kind of Stanley blade just to cut the heat shrink slightly without slicing my fingers off. Right, let's get the meter in. Let's check the meter's working on continuity. I'll tell you what, we'll put it on beep. There we go, and we'll just see if this is blown or not. And surprise, surprise, open circuit. Now this is a 152 degree and it says 15 amps. I think I've got some of these, so I think the last one, when I did one of these, I didn't have the correct temperature. I think I put 124 in, and it's actually still working fine, to be quite honest with you. So, not that I've actually used it extensively, but alright, so then I think what I'll do, I'm going to just snip this bit off and snip that bit off, and I might take a slightly different approach with this one. I think I might use the helping hands, use the crocodile clips on there to sink the heat, and we might just solder these on with some heat shrink over the top. Now, I have got some that I purchased earlier, which are the correct temperature rating. I don't know if you can see there, for the camera to focus in. There we go, 152 degrees. And the original one, there we go. We'll just focus in there we go. 152 degrees. So the plan is to use these, or this, and we'll try and see if we can take the crocodile clip off, and we'll put two of them there to use as a heat sink, and we'll just solder that one to there, and we'll just bend the legs over or something like that. I may have to put some additional heat shrink over it. A nice bit of blue heat shrink there, so I think I'll use that. Hopefully that'll fit over the original one. I might cut that a little bit off. I'll try and tidy it up a little bit. I was just having a bit of trouble going over. Yeah, the amount of times I've done something and then realised at the end, I haven't put the heat shrink on or whatever, or haven't put the end of the connector on. That's caught us out a few times. Right then, let's do this side first, I think. I think we'll just solder that on like that. I'll just put a bit on there first. It should just be a matter of doing that. Right. And it should just be a matter of the same on this one, and I think we'll just fold the wires back in on themselves or something. Now let's pop that up on the meter bit there or something like that. Might have to readjust this slightly. Right, that's it soldered on. I don't think any heat would have gotten that far to trip it. Oh, we'll just double check. No, that's still fine. I'll get this heat shrink over first. I'm just going to try and bend that like that, so, and the heat shrink should go over it. And then the other bit should go over there. something a bit like that. Right, I'll use the rework station just to do that heat shrink, and we need it on 450 degrees. No, we don't, we need it on about 100. I'm just turning it down here. Right, something like that should do. And then we need to try and get all this back in there. Shift this meter out of the way for now. Right, I think that should be about it. Let's see if we can get this part back on. Took a little bit of getting back together. Right then, the camera just stopped recording there, but we'll give it a go. And it's flashing. Yeah, that's getting warm now. So we'll just give it a moment and we'll see if it melts any solder. There we go. And the light's gone red, just to, when you switch it off, just to let you know that the tip's still hot. So, right then, I think I'll put this to the one side and then we'll look at the next one. Right, so, same thing again, I think. Should be a bit quicker on this one now. Now I've just done one of them. Seems to be a very common problem on these soldering irons, this thermal fuse. In fact, I think I'm just gonna, I'll tell you what, we'll test it anyway. But I think I'll be 99% sure that that's what the problem is. Right, let's get the test meter on it. Yeah, open circuit. Right, we'll pre-tin these first. Might actually live a bit more dangerously this one, and we'll try cutting the wires down a bit. And we'll see if, tell you what, I might take this other clip off here as well. Put one on the body of the unit. Oh, might be a bit on that one. I think we'll be all right though. Right, where's a heat shrink? Pull this off first over the top and pull that back on after. Just check that the thermal fuse is still okay. I think it should be. Yeah. I think if you're quick enough, it takes a while for the heat to transfer down the wires and anyway. Yeah, still fine. Right, let's use this to heat shrink the heat shrink. Got more chance of setting it off with this. Put that back down there and we'll slide. Oh, look what I forgot to do. I forgot to put that back on, didn't I? I was just saying about that as well. Right then. See if we can get this this lot back in now without as much drama as we had on the last one. Nice. I've got to put that bit back on now. Look, I can just slide down over the top. Right, where's the screw? Was it still in? Nope, I took it out. There it is. Let's see what this one does then. Yeah, I can just feel it starting to get hot there now. And the green light should stop flashing when it gets to temperature, so there we go. Right, another one working then. So there we go, that's two done. And I'll just put this one to one side. And then we'll have a look at the third one. Right, so number 3. Now this one seems to have a slightly different fault. Like I say, because it says it's at the right temperature straight away, but it's definitely not hot. And it's saying that it's hot there when it isn't. So it looks like a problem with the temperature side of things on this one. So I don't think it's a thermal fuse on this one. It also looks like the tips are rather bent on this as well. Yeah. Right, I think I see what's happened with this then. It looks like the previous owner has been pressing on the tip too much and has snapped the heater. So this one's going to need a replacement heater. Let's pull the battery out for now. Now I do have a replacement heater for one of these that I ordered a while back when I looked at the first one. So I should be able to get this one fixed as well. Now I've never replaced a heater on one of these, so it should be a little bit more interesting. Right, let's see if I can find that heater and I'll be back in a moment. Right, so this is the replacement heater that I bought a while back, which is supposed to be the same as the ones that are in these irons. So we shall have a look. Well, it looks slightly different. Well, internally, yeah, it looks pretty much the same. Yeah, I think it's just the this outer cover on, which I think I like a bit better than the other one. But I mean, we can. I might use the same. Actually, is that the same length, or is it slightly? Actually, no, it will be slightly longer because the end of it's snapped off, isn't it? It's silly. Right, hold on. Let's just compare. Yeah, I would say that's pretty much the same. Pretty much identical, isn't it? Right. So the two centre ones. So on here it'll be the two blue ones are the actual heater. Sorry, the two outside ones are the heater, and the two inside ones are the thermocouple, or the how it measures the temperature. So the two red ones are the heater, and the two blue are the temperature sense. Right, I think we'll remove this old heater first. I'm going to clean those holes out. I'll use the solder sucker for that. Let's get the little LED out of the way. So, I'm just looking at the circuit board here. And with it having the 4 connections on, it looks like instead of having the fuse soldered here, you could actually solder the fuse into that holder there. So into that hole there. Actually, it's got marked on here fuse as well further back, but they haven't used that for some reason. It's a bit strange. So we need to cut these wires about the same length as those ones. Actually, I might use the existing stuff, because then I've got a length of the wires that I need as a guide. I'm trying to snap them off. Or something about that sort of length. And I think the other two are about the same. I've had trouble getting through on this one. There we go. Right, so I think we'll solder those wires up first. Now I don't know if this thermal fuse is actually okay or not. I might use the a bit of this on that wire. We'll just have it a touch longer. Right, I think that should do for that. Right then, hopefully the thermal fuse is alright, but we'll find out in a second. And that soldering iron tip. Nice. Let's see what it does. Well, it's flashing green, so that means it's heating up. Or thinks it's heating up. Yes, I can feel it getting warm there. Now, somebody did say that these elements don't heat up as quick as the original ones. And it might be because these are 24 volt and obviously the iron's 12. Because it seems to be taking a bit more longer to heat up there. But it is getting up the temperature. Actually, I can just see it's starting to smoke there now. Yeah, it's definitely taking longer to heat up than the other iron. So I don't think these tips are a quite direct replacement, even though they look identical. I think the resistance of them must be slightly different. There we go, just starting to get the temperature there now. So I'm recording this bit after I've actually finished the video. I wasn't quite happy with this this iron, the way the light was flashing. So I thought I'd measure the heater out of one of the original ones and compare it to the Heiko 1321 element that I've replaced with it with. So on the original heater, the heater element measures 1.4 ohms. And the sensor part of the heater element at room temperature measures 51 ohms. Now I've got two of these replacement heaters. I was ordered two. I thought, well, they weren't that expensive. But anyway, so the one I fitted to the iron, that one is 4.1 ohms on the heater. So about twice the ohmage, which I kind of would have expected with it being a 24 volt and the original being a 12. The temperature sensor also has a bit of a difference of about 9 or 10 ohms. And on the second heater element, so this one here, which I haven't fitted, I thought I'll measure that one as well to see. And that one, the heater measures 3.6 ohms across the heater part of the element, and 41.2 ohms on the temperature sensor part. So I just thought, you know, a little bit additional information there. So right then, we'll back to the rest of the video. I'm just going to see if this stops flashing, because the flashing means it's still heating up. It should go green when it gets to the correct temperature. Let's see if it, well, it thinks it's hot. Yeah, see, but that light hasn't stopped flashing, it hasn't gone to a solid green to say it's at temperature. So I wonder if eventually the thermal fuse will go on this, if it just keeps on heating up. I wonder if I should get the thermal camera on it and just see what the temperature actually is. Right, let's have a look here. That seems to be jumping all over the place, this. It must be about 200 odd degrees, otherwise the solder wouldn't melt. Well, I'm not so sure about this one. I mean, it is melting solder. But the fact that the light's still flashing is a little bit concerning. So I don't know whether it's getting to the correct temperature. Tell you what, might I'll switch this off a sec. I'm just going to compare it on one of the other ones. Let's put that there so it's not going to burn anything. Yeah, because that one's flashing, same as what that one's doing. Same as what that one's doing, rather. There we go, now that's stopped flashing. Even though the sole hasn't melted quite yet. Let's see what temperature it measures on this one with the camera. Well, that doesn't seem very that's better. Well, I went up to about 270 or so there, 300 and odd there a minute. Yeah, about 320 it's saying on the tip there. So I wonder if that one's just not getting hot enough, which could well be the case. Thinking about it, if that's a 24 volt filament and we're only putting 12 volts into it, perhaps it's never reaching the high enough temperature that the original one is. Anyway, it is kind of working. You can still solder with it. So I don't know on that one, but that's the elements that other people have recommended. It looks the same, but I think the voltage is different. I mean, what do you guys think? You know, if you've got any thoughts on that, leave it in the comments below. Well, there we go. At least they're all working now, even though that one's not working. I would say 100%. But well, there we go then, fixing 3 Milwaukee soldering irons. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, please subscribe. Any comments or questions, please leave it in the comments section below. And as always, have a great day. Thanks for watching.